Hey, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great day, a blessed day, and getting 1% better than yesterday, and breaking free from anything that's holding you back from having the best day ever and becoming the best version of yourself. That's what I'm trying to do every day. Some days are better than others. Today's a good day. Not perfect, but I'm enjoying the process. I'm working on it. I got out there and hustled. Made $74 today side hustling with Instacart. It was a $54 order from BJ's, and I did a $20 Uber Eats order, and it took me like 3.5 hours, and I feel like my day off goes a little quick at times. I'll get home and I'll have lunch and I'll make this video, and then I'll kind of have like an hour to chill before the kiddos come home, and that will be fun also. So I was off to a great start, 74. I made 210 last week with Instacart, Spark, and Uber Eats. I would highly suggest you guys check those out. There'll be some links in the description below. Side hustle and build some wealth and pay down some debt, whatever one that you're working on. Getting into today's topics, some Bible verses on confidence, also 20 best tips to become a more confident and successful person, and also my greatest thrift store find ever. I was so excited to show you that. So it's been too long since I posted a video, and it feels weird kind of even going without a net. My video editor is not working. I'm not able to import my videos into this video editor and then export it to YouTube. So really I'm just going to go from this right to YouTube, kind of like how I used to do. It was nice being able to edit out, stumble over a word or pause, or if I wanted to have a sip of coffee or whatnot, or put two videos together. And I was kind of having fun with that, and I will figure out something, but for now, the show must go on. We still continue to break free no matter what. So that's been kind of what I was working on the last week to no avail, but I will figure something out soon. But let's get into today's topics. Let's talk about confidence, and let's talk about a couple Bible verses that jumped out to me that deal with confidence in your faith and self-confidence in yourself. And the first is Proverbs 3:26. It says, "For the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught." I like that one. The Lord will be your confidence. I like how you can put your confidence on the Lord. You can put your stress and your worries on the Lord. Put it all. He can bear all that for each one of us. And there's, again, no reason to worry. He will build you up. And Philippians 4:13, "I can do all things in Christ who strengthens me." So have confidence in what you're doing on a daily basis. I can do this. Something that I was stressed over the last week, not being able to get my videos going. Are my videos even good enough? Am I doing enough? Have confidence. Put your confidence in the Lord, and He will build you up. And if you believe in God, there's unlimited possibilities. And knowing that can provide peace and purpose. And I think those two words, along with freedom, have summed up my life since I decided to try to make the most of it and the best of it as I could on a daily basis. Freedom and peace and purpose. Not letting anything get to you too much. And then what exactly are you doing with your life? Trying to become better every day. Of course, things are going to get to you at times, but having the awareness to kind of let it slide and not let it ruin your day. Before we get into 20 more great tips on how to be a confident, successful person and achieve your goals, let me show you the great thing that I found. Before I do that, I found this hat today. This tag's still on it. This is 2000 Golden State All-Star Weekend with the tag. This is going to go for $25 easy. I paid $2.99 for this hat. So I'm happy with that. Been flipping clothes. My stash is getting bigger. I'm very happy. And this guy right here was the greatest find that I've ever found. It's Kalamazoo Sunburst guitar. It's in good shape. I tuned it up a little. There's no cracks. I believe these knobs are restored. I'm thinking these are probably not the original strings, and there might have been some work down here on the bridge, but I'll tell you a little bit about what happened. I went into the thrift store, and I'm looking around for new things, something different, and I catch this guitar case was closed, and it caught my eye, and I looked around, and I didn't really see anyone who was going to make their way over to it right away, so I'm like, okay, I'll go check out some hats, and I got to know that stuff's not going to last there, so I got to get on it. And all of a sudden I'm at the hats, and this guy who's by the guitar now goes, oh my gosh, this is expensive. Why do you have this marked so much? And I'll tell you what the thrift store had it marked at. And she goes, it's about a quarter of what it's worth when we looked it up online. So now I'm like, oh boy, this guy beat me to it. He's going to get the find. And I walk over there, and, he walks away. So I'm like, okay. So I pick it up, and I'm looking at it. I see Kalamazoo. I've never really heard of it. It is it was the budget brand for Gibson in the 30s, possibly even 40s. If this was a Gibson, this would probably be like $8,000. But I believe this to be a 30s Kalamazoo Sunburst. And I look it up, and the first thing I see is a broken one of these going for about $600. And I will tell you the price tag that they had at the thrift store, it was $300. I texted my wife, I go, I'm going to try to make some money. And not necessarily a broken one. New ones are online going for like $1,500 to $3,000. So, and this thing plays, it's in good shape. Not too much wear. This could be a great piece for somebody. And I decided to pull the trigger. I got some bubble wrap. I'm going to wrap this guy all up in the case and then wrap the case itself. And I actually have one guitar box. I bought like a 3-pack a long time ago, and I just saved it because I knew one day I would come across a guitar. So I would be happy if I sold it for $800 or of course more. But to make $500 or something dollars off a guitar, I would be happy with that. And I never thought I would play a 1930s guitar ever in my life. I was always looking for a 1930s Stella guitar. I love that brand. I love the look of that brand. But this will have to do for now. I love being able to flip stuff, and this should be a great profit. And I'll just play it for a quick minute before I get into 20 great tips to become a more confident person. You bring out the best in me, and I think about you endlessly, about all the things you said to me, like there's no such thing as being too lucky. When I first saw you, I knew you were the one. Your darkest night, and you shine like the sun. You put me back together when I came undone, and there's no such thing as having too much fun. When you're around, I never wanna leave. You gave me faith, you made me believe about all the things I could achieve. You fill my life with air when I couldn't breathe. You bring out the best in me. When I first saw you, I knew you were the one. When you're around, I never wanna leave. You fill my life with air when I could. So that's a little song for the Kalamazoo. I'm going to list this sucker today and see what happens. It's very exciting, very exciting. And get out there in the thrift stores. Knowledge is power. Like I said, the last video that I couldn't get quite online had to deal with some great items to flip and then where to flip them. I will do that video again in the future. But let's end this video with 20 great tips to become a more confident person and to achieve your goals, to help you find purpose and peace in life and to break free. And number one is going to be to believe in yourself and your own abilities. No one's going to believe in you more than you will yourself. You can do it no matter what your situation. You have the ability to break free. You have the ability to become the best version of yourself. You have the ability to have the best day ever. And that's really what I'm looking for here. Number two, dress for success. Look your best. Feel your best. Something I kind of got away from maybe. I'm comfortable. But sometimes I don't necessarily dress up. A lot of hoodies, jeans, t-shirt that fits well or fits comfortably, I should say, and some shorts. And that's really it for me. Kind of comfort has become the thing, but maybe I need to slide and maybe dressing up a little bit more. I don't know. Perhaps if I can get in a little bit better shape, that will motivate me to dress a little bit better and perhaps have a little bit more confidence in a random situation. Number three, practice good posture and good body language. This is one that I think about often. I try not to cross my arms like this. I read recently, hands in the pockets is a sign of not being confident. So I've noticed myself taking my hands out of my pockets a little bit. Body language, I try to stand up straight. I try to make eye contact in most situations. It's a work in progress. It's not, I'm not the master here. I'm just trying to learn just like everybody else. Take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of your diet. Something that I'm working on, transitioning into. Lord knows I got a ways to go. And I know that would bring more confidence into my life. Number six, to speak up and to share your opinions. Yes, I think it can bring in more confidence if what you're saying can provide meaning or can further along. I don't like just talking just to talk. To speak up, to share my opinions. I share my opinions on here, but I don't just go around and just berate people with my opinions, especially not on hot button subjects like, try to avoid that kind of thing. But I think to speak up for yourself will certainly help your confidence. Don't be like this when, everyone is, ignoring you or walking all over you. Speak up and share your opinions on what you will and will not tolerate. I think there's something to be said there. Number seven is to embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Something that I don't think is taught in school, that we talked about this recently. Failure is a learning opportunity. Failed several times at work. I try not to make the same mistake twice. Again, no one's perfect, so I at least try to spread them out within years, But the things that you do wrong, you can learn from. I remember when I first started selling on eBay and how I packed the boxes was just atrocious. And I don't blame, so-and-so for complaining or wanting a partial refund. You had to learn. I had to learn how to weigh things. I had to learn how to pack things properly. I had to learn how to take good pictures. I had to learn chords on the guitar before I could play it. I had to learn how to even get a video to YouTube at one point. Now I got to relearn to get it to a video editing software, but I'm still putting out this content because I love communicating with all of you. Number 8 is going to be to celebrate your success no matter how small. That's just going to make for a more positive day, a more positive life. You can build on small successes. We always talk about becoming 1% better, and those 1% gains compound over time, which is going to provide a monumental return no matter what. From getting up just a little bit earlier, having a little bit of a cold shower, going for a little bit longer walk, a couple extra reps, eating a few extra healthy meals, all that stuff will compound. Reading a couple pages, finishing a book, paying off a small debt, little successes should be celebrated. Number 9, practice mindfulness and meditation to reduce anxiety. I think that's absolutely huge. As the rain starts to pitter patter on the roof. Wow, the sun's kind of out too. It's been a weird day. I dodged some rainstorms out there today. Practice mindfulness and meditation to reduce anxiety. I think if we can sit with our thoughts, it gives us a pause on reacting to our thoughts and reacting to our urges and just kind of letting them go and sitting with it. And then we don't always have to lean into, I want that sugar, I want that cigarette, I want that bowl of cereal before bed, I want to have that drink after work, or God forbid before work. You can kind of sit with the urge and let it pass, and that's a practice. It's mindfulness. It's going to reduce your anxiety to focus yourself on in the moment and to only worry about what you can control and not what others may think or say or do. Number 10, visualize success. Visualize yourself achieving your goals. When I was paying off debt, I would always visualize how it would feel to become debt-free. And the day that I did it, and even the day after, it was just like, okay, what now? But that feeling starts to become more and more powerful as you start to build your own wealth and you start to regain control of your money and feel that sense of peace and freedom from not having to pay your lenders. Visualize achieving your goals. When I'm getting ready for work, I'm thinking about how it's going to be a good night, how I'm going to sell, how I'm going to push myself, how I'm going to make people have, or hope to make them have a great night, and at the same time sell what needs to be sold in the restaurant. And I've been walking that fine line for many years, and try to visualize the success, not kind of what could go wrong or this or that. Number 11, take calculated risks and step outside of your comfort zone. This is stepping outside of my comfort zone. I've become more confident in doing it, but especially the last 2 or 3 weeks, even before hitting that record button, as much as I love it, once I get doing it, you gotta take a little push to get there some days, that Instacarting, I remember that was a big step outside of my comfort zone. You don't know really what's going on in your first 1 or 2 shops, I don't know what was going on, but I powered through it, and now I'm very confident. I remember I would avoid Aldi's when they're on the other side of town, and then they just moved over to closer to me on this side of town, and was all worried about that store because it was different than Wegmans, different than a typical grocery store kind of stuff. The coffee was with, the baby food. It's just all weird. But now it makes total sense to me. I actually like it better because it's a little bit smaller and everything's just right there. Step out of your comfort zone. Do workouts. Read what you might not necessarily read. Talk to people who you might not necessarily talk to. Consume content that will make you a better person, motivate you to break free. I like this one a lot. Challenge your negative self-talk and replace it with positive affirmations. I can be hard on myself at times. But ever since I kind of came across the idea of only positive thoughts in, I kind of quit it. Like, you're not good enough. What are you doing making this YouTube video? You're not a great waiter. You can't lift as much. You got to read more. Are you spending enough time with this person or that person? You could have done this better. You could have said this. You could have done that. I try to really, really just eliminate all that BS. only fill it up with positive affirmations. Of course, none of us are going to be a perfect, Zen Buddhist monk. Stuff's going to happen. I can get frustrated with myself at times. I can get frustrated with becoming frustrated. And I can get frustrated if I make a mistake. But you just got to move on, Focus on what you can control, and that's to learn from it and see it as a learning opportunity. And again, the next one's going to be focus on your strengths and your achievements. So yeah, I might not be the greatest video editor in the world. I might not make the greatest thumbnails in the world, but what are my strengths? I feel like I care, loving, loyal, creative, maybe funny sometimes, caring. I feel like I can communicate somewhat effectively as I pause and think, but I'm not afraid to say it at this point anymore. I can play a little bit of an instrument. I have a good eye for finding things to flip. I like to side hustle. All strengths and achievements to focus on it, and not the stuff that I necessarily can't do. I'm focused on this video now, not what I can't do with it afterwards to put the bells and whistles on it. This is what you're going to get, and it'll be for the people who are ready to hear it. And that's all that I can control. Number 15 is going to be to set clear and achievable goals for yourself. It's not just to lose weight. It's not just to be to list something for sale. Try to list one thing at least a day for sale. Try to lose a pound. Try to drink X amount of water. Try to get X amount of protein in your body. Try to go to bed at this certain time. Try to take out that one bill. Try to build up your emergency fund and then extend it to fully funded. Maybe what's not measured can't be tracked. We have to set clear and achievable goals so it makes it a little bit more realistic to achieve. Number 16 is to be assertive and to stand up for yourself. This has been a blessing and a curse for me. Sometimes I used to feel at work where I would try to stand up for myself, and it's just friction. There'd be a lot of friction there for some reason, and I know a lot of it was my fault. But at the same time, there's only so much that you want to tolerate, and sometimes you got to stand up for yourself and do it in a way of respectfulness and from strength, that all your eggs are not in one basket. If things don't change, I will. And we only really have 3 choices in life. It's to accept it, to change it, or to leave. And if you're going to change it, then change it, Or if not, you're going to leave, or you can accept it. But those are the 3 choices that we have. Number 17, to practice active listening and communication skills. I have to communicate with the public at large every night. I feel like it's helped a little bit talking to people I don't necessarily know yet. Communicating what we have to offer at the restaurant. I'd like to communicate the topics that I'm talking about during these YouTube videos. And I also like to listen to what you have to say, to what people in my family have to say, to what my boss has to say, to what people who can influence me to become better, what I'm consuming, financial or health or diet, mindfulness, awareness, yoga, minimalism. I'd like to actively listen to, certainly, and learn and take notes. So I think becoming an active listener as well as communicating is absolutely huge. That will help you build your confidence. Number 18, take care of your mental health. Seek help if needed. Put it off, you put it off. And then once you do it, I think you'll be wishing that you did it sooner. I feel like it's becoming more and more normalized in this society. I don't think there's a big stigma about it. There's a lot of talk about mental health nowadays. A lot of celebrities and famous people you hear talking about it, NBA players. And I used to think, like, does that really make a difference? But yeah, it's like, it's not like you're going to the moon, anymore, or some weird person because you have to go talk about your mental health. I think that you are weird if you don't. I think we all feel certain things throughout our lives, and we all can deal with them in the ways that work best for us, hopefully in a healthy way, and not drowning it out with drugs and alcohol and binge watching TV and sleeping too much and whatever else, but to have the courage to help yourself out in a sober way to become a freer person, I think is huge. So take care of yourself and see somebody if that is needed. Number 19 is going to be to learn from constructive criticism, to learn from feedback. I think I'm very receptive. I think I'm very coachable. Maybe almost too much. Like, maybe I could be more of a leader if I wasn't so coachable. But that's just kind of how I've always been. I'd like to run through the wall for the coach or for somebody that I really respect. So I'll take the feedback and I'll try to become better from it and for it. And at least I think that's something that I've done professionally and try to do in life, which nobody's perfect. But then finally, practice self-compassion. Talking about nobody's perfect. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to have a bad hour, an afternoon, a bad morning, a bad week, a bad month. It's okay if you make a video that nobody likes, a song that nobody likes. It's not all so serious. Just don't beat yourself up. Just do the work and move on to the next video. Move on to the next song. Move on to the next moment. You failed, move on to this one. Succeeded in this one. Set small, achievable goals. Try to string those moments together, those days, and you're going to start having the best day and the best life ever, and you're going to be free with peace and purpose while you're doing it. So I hope this video finds you well, and let me know how you're doing. I missed you guys the last week, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Break free.